some comments I've been getting lately really stayed with me. Just leave Romania, not once, not twice, a few times. And the thing is, I wasn't even attacking the country, I was just sharing my experience. So, today I want to talk about that. Welcome to From Mora with Love. Hi se vorbim de skis. Let me explain where this is coming from. In my recent videos, I shared some of my real experiences here in Bucharest. Things like cockroaches in the apartment, problems with hot water, even bedbugs. And honestly, that video wasn't meant to offend anyone. It was a mix of humor, a bit of satire, and just my everyday reality. But still, I started seeing comments like, I would never talk about my country like that, or then just leave. And that's where I got a bit confused. Nu a fost niciodată intenția mea să jignesc pe cineva, because I feel like I already explained this. I've said many times there is no perfect place, not Romania, not Poland, not anywhere. Even where I come from, in Krakow, I've complained about this like water quality. So it's not like I'm putting Romania in a bad light and pretending everything else is perfect. Actually, I've also said the opposite, that I prefer living here. So I don't really understand why sharing a few negative experiences suddenly becomes such a big issue. What am I supposed to do? Only talk about the good things? Because for me, that wouldn't be honest. Nu poți să arăți doar partea frumoasă a vieții. I've been living here for 7 years, not as a tourist, actually living here. And that means I've seen different sides of this country, not just Bucharest, but also life outside the city. For example, I spent time in rural areas in the Buzău region. And yeah, I saw things that surprised me, like outdoor toilets in some villages. But that's not criticism, that's just reality as I experienced it. Asta a fost doar experiența mea personală. The same with stray dogs. When I talk about it, I'm not saying this country is bad. I'm asking, why is this still happening? Why are there so many abandoned animals? Why do you see so many of them on the roads? For me, that's not hate, that's attention. Because if you care about the place, you don't just show the nice parts, you also notice what could be better. And I think that's normal. I'm not trying to attack Romania, I'm just sharing my perspective as someone who lives here, experiences things and talks about them. But yeah, I will be honest, I didn't expect that kind of reaction. I think this is where it gets interesting, because this kind of reaction, if you don't like it, leave. It doesn't really solve anything. It just shuts the conversation down. And I'm not here to fight with anyone. I'm not here to prove that I'm right. Cred că putem vorbi deschis, fără să ne atacăm. But I do think that being able to talk about both the good and the bad, that's part of actually respecting a place. Because pretending everything is perfect doesn't help anyone. And ignoring problems doesn't make them disappear. If anything, it just means nobody talks about them. And honestly, I think Romania deserves better than that. It deserves people who can say, yeah, this is great, but this could improve. Because that's how things move forward. Adevărul nu e o insultă. And from my side, nothing really changes. I'm still here, I'm still building my life here, and I'm still going to share what I see, both the good and the difficult parts. Not to offend anyone, but because that's real life. And if that's problem for some people, then maybe the problem isn't the video, maybe it's the conversation we are not used to having. Anyway, I'm curious what you think. Have you ever experienced something like this in another country or even in your own? Asta e viața reală. And maybe this is just part of the experience. Living in a country that's not your own, you are always a bit in between. You see things differently, you notice things locals don't, and sometimes that's appreciated, and sometimes it's not. But I think that's okay, because I didn't come here to be silent. I came here to live, to understand, and to experience things fully. And that includes talking about them. E ok, să vezi lumea altfel. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this video helped clarify a few things and gave a bit more context about what I meant in my previous videos. I really don't want this to create negative emotions or unnecessary drama. That was never the point. I'm just sharing my experience here and honestly as I can. Oh yeah, thank you for being here and listening. Feel free to check out my next videos on From Mora with Love. And as always, leave a like, subscribe to the channel and share this video so it can travel deep into the depths of the YouTube algorithm. Let's see how far it goes. See you next time. La revedere!